Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank y'all so much for joining me back on my channel, Hidden Alchemy. For today, we are diving into the Cancer full moon that we have happening on December 26th. This is making this a nice Christmas, winter solstice, end of the year retrograde full moon, having really yummy aspects, but aspects really asking us to slow down and come into a place of reflection. Now, before I dive deeper into this full moon energy we have happening at the end of the year, if you have not seen any of my videos on what the sign Cancer means or Capricorn, or even what a full moon or a new moon is, go ahead and check out my videos. I have tons and tons of videos diving into these meanings just so you can have a really nice grounded understanding. Also, if you are interested in getting your chart read or trying to see where these moons are taking place in your chart, go ahead to my website, Hidden Alchemy by Sade, where you can find all of my information and how to get in contact with me. All right, everyone, let's go ahead and dive into this full moon. The full moon is happening on December 26th in the afternoon time. So you can go ahead and just say that this is a Christmas entering us into the new year type of full moon in the sign of Cancer. And when we're working with full moons, it means we have the sun in the opposite sign of the moon. And for this one, we're having the sun in the sign of Capricorn, moon in the sign of Cancer. And whenever we're dealing with the Cancer and Capricorn aspect, it is always asking us to go back to our roots, go back to the home. How are you nurtured? How are you taken care of? And how are you now nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself, that Cancer energy, so that you can show up in the world with these duties and these responsibilities and just being a leader in whatever sector that you work in. So, because we also have Mercury that's stationed retrograde in the mid half of December, this is really this time to slow things down, come into a space of reflection, come into a space of really thinking about how far you've come. So we have Pluto also in the sign of Capricorn along with the sun, and Pluto is ushering its way out of Capricorn after being there for about 15 years. So really looking at a culmination of things that have really died in your life that you've had to work through getting rid of. Maybe it's habits, maybe it's partnerships, right? Capricorn also rules boundaries and structures. And maybe it's just the way that you view education or you view the workforce, right? We've seen so many changes happen as a collective in terms of how people are working now. And really looking and reflecting back on how much your life has changed, whether it be this year or the past few years, and where you are now. And working with Cancer energy, especially because Cancer loves being in its moon element, because Cancer is ruled by the moon. This is a time to grieve those parts of yourself that are not coming with you in this new life, are not coming with you in this new chapter. And while grieving those parts of yourself that had to die in this previous fall season, really being excited for all of the life that is to come in this new chapter. Whenever we go into the winter season, right? So we just had the sun move into Capricorn, winter solstice. We are now being pushed into a season of enlightenment, a season of knowledge and wisdom, so that we can really understand why certain things had to take place throughout the year in the way that it had to take place. Because Mercury is retrograde, it is also telling us that we need to slow things down completely so that we can really hear what messages the universe is trying to send to us, or God, or whatever higher consciousness that you believe in. You need to slow down so that you can hear those messages before you move forward on your journey. So with this full moon, especially because it is around Christmas time and around New Year's, it can work in two dualities. It can either be really refreshing if you are a person who enjoys the holiday season, where you might be spending that time with family and friends and reminiscing. Cancer really makes us very nostalgic in how we think about things and think about our life. So if you enjoy the holidays, then this can be a great full moon for you. But if you are a person who does not enjoy the shift into a darker season, especially if you are on this side of the world in the US and I'm based in New York. So if you do not enjoy this darker type of more slow, a little bit morbid type of time of the year, then this might be a time where a lot of avoidance can kick in, a lot of going into habits like toxic habits or codependent habits can kick in. This is that season where if you're not comfortable with the discomfort of the dark, then this full moon can be very uncomfortable because it is forcing us to slow down so that we can just reflect and see how far we've come. So many ways that you can flip this moon and really make it work for you. Even if you don't enjoy this time of the year, really think about everything that has happened in the year and what you're excited to move towards so that your winter can be a lot more intentional. Because when we're working with Capricorn, we really want to conserve energy. So it's like having the holidays, but then having us move into Capricorn season is like, okay, we're having this last party and then we're really going into hibernation. Now, a really good thing about this full moon is we have really yummy aspects with Taurus. So Jupiter and Uranus are both in the sign of Taurus. And then we have Saturn in the sign of Pisces. This makes really good connections with Capricorn as well as Cancer because Cancer is water, Capricorn is earth. So a lot of easy movements if you allow them to be. If you just slow down and tap into that yin energy of knowing where you need to be, when you need to be, and nothing needs to really be on time, even though Capricorn rules time, right, by Saturn, the planet that rules Capricorn. But because it's retrograde, we can really slow down and be a little bit behind the schedule just so we can really be on time in actuality. So just taking this season and I forgot where I was going. Oh, yes, Saturn. Saturn is in the sign of Pisces and Uranus and Jupiter in the sign of Taurus. So all of that energy coming together, it's very supportive, very functional in its just natural movement. Now, an aspect that could be challenging, but I see it to be extremely, extremely great is we have Mercury that is retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius because it had to leave Capricorn and move back a sign. And we also have Mars in its tail end of Sagittarius. Now, this can be very playful because Sagittarius is the sign of the adventurer, the optimistic, the risk taker, the philosopher, the teacher, right? But also the bluntest speaker in the zodiac. And especially with Mercury being here and its retrograde season, just be mindful to not take people's communication to heart and to just let things roll off and maybe come back to approaching a conversation or a topic after the retrograde, after the holiday, right? Let the holiday pass and then you can come back to it. However, because Mars being the planet that rules action, being in the sign of Sagittarius, I really see this to be a playful season where we're really just doing the things that bring us joy, that come to us naturally, that come to us through our intuition, and that allow us to be in a space of optimism, even if we have no idea of what's to come moving forward. So I hope everyone has a really amazing Cancer full moon. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be very emotional. So allow yourself to have that space of grieving if that's what you need, leaning on friends, etc., etc. All right, everyone, I will see you for my next video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how this full moon has been working for you, and I will see you all later.